with another episode of CannaConvos. I'm pretty stoned today. I'll tell you why here in a minute. But today we have Cbunny. Bam, 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 bam. She is the 1/3 of the Homegirl, the community crew. So we're gonna be having her on. She's gonna jump in right here. What's up? What's up? There she is. Let's send her an invite. Down, 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 down. Bam, 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 bam. Solo interview. So we're gonna try to get to know her, and we're gonna figure everything out about her and how she works and all that. So yeah, if you guys didn't see today, by the way, until Cbunny comes on. Also Cbunny, I forgot to tell you, you might have to enter and re-enter. Sometimes Instagram be tripping, but we'll just keep it try it again. What's up, Gannis? What's up, everybody? How you doing? Let's see if it lets you join. And then if not, then you send an invite, and then I'll send another invite, and yeah, we'll get you on here. But how's everybody's day going? Hopefully pretty good. I know me. Killed it, dude. The episode. Mama Kush, what's up? What's up? What's up? Let's see. Get her in here. Yanni, what up? Bam, 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 bam. What's poppin'? You know, we're just chilling, killing, act like a villain. You already know. If you don't know, the episode of my episode, deal. All right, let's see if it lets her in. Says Cbunny is unable to join. We'll send her. Keep on asking. It works after like the second, third time. Yanni, what's up? What's up? What's up? I'm a little stoned today. I'm sorry, guys. I smoked some THCA. There she is.
Hello.
How's it going?
Not too bad, thank you.
All right. Sorry it takes so many times with Instagram. You got to go like at least 2 or 3 times.
I can't see you. You're black. Your screen is
man.
dark.
Okay, well, do you want to just you want to go back out, or do you just want to go with it?
We could just roll with it if you want.
Roll with it?
I don't know if I'll be able to come back in, so.
Yeah, so we'll just roll with it. And you know what? I've had to do that one time to where we had the interview and I couldn't see the person, and I just like got better at it and freestyled it, and it really helped for my, you know, that for the internet, for the interviewing. Like, it gives you more experience in what to do when things go wrong. And the only thing you can do is get better, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so
well,
how's your day
for having me on. It's going great. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm seeing your guys' content. You guys are killing it out there. For those who don't know, Cbunny is 1/3 of the Homegirl, the community crew. She is. They are just killing it over there. They've had a lot of people on lately, and you guys are doing really good on YouTube.
Yes, we had some pretty big names. So it's me, myself, Mr. Ganix, and Mama Kush for 20. They are actually in the chat, so big shout out to them too.
How's it going, everybody? So I wanted to get off started. How did you come up with your name? Are you a bunny lover?
So, no. Actually, so my account, I've been on and off of here for about 6 years, but I've never really put my face out there. So I started, it was winter, and I was watching a show, and they were talking about, it was a winter show with skiing, and it was snow bunnies. So I'm like, how can I work that into? So I'm like, Canadian Bunny for 20. And then when my account got banned, I had to think of a different name because I could no longer use that name. So I'm like, how can I shorten it? So I was like, Cbunny, but I felt like it was missing something. So I'm like, okay, well, let's Cbunny Grow. I'm like, hey, that kind of works. Come Cbunny Grow. So that's how it came to be.
Nice. That's cool, man. Yeah, because for those who don't know, you live up in Canada, right?
I do. I'm actually Northern Ontario.
Northern Ontario. Now, my geography is just, I'm horrible at it, so I don't know exactly where that's at. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I'm like 5 hours north of Toronto.
Okay, all right. I want to go up to Canada one of these days. I think it'd be a beautiful spot to check out.
For sure, during the summer.
Yeah. Are you having a hard winter?
No, actually we're not, which is surprisingly. Normally we have lots of snow, and this year it's been very mild.
Really? Okay, yeah, that's what's been going on lately, huh?
Yes.
So how long have you been growing for?
So, up until honestly, like, I'll say about 6, 7 years ago now, I had never seen a cannabis plant. And I started meeting new people, and I met somebody who grew. So I would go there and I would help like defoliate the plant and just little things, like just help with the maintenance. And I'm like, I really like taking pictures of these plants. So I'm like, where can I post kind of like my own personal journal where I can't, because he had a medical license, so he was legally allowed to grow, but it was still not legal. So I couldn't put it on like my Facebook, and I didn't want my family to see and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I came across Instagram, and I'm like, well, I'll start posting these outdoor plants on Instagram, put my account private, and that's how I started.
Nice.
And so I did that for a few years, and then I decided I was tired of traveling to go and help. I wanted to learn more about the plant. I wanted it to be more accessible to me. So 2 years ago, I decided to try indoor, and I've been growing for 2 years.
Nice. So you have been growing indoor for 2 years?
Yes.
Beautiful. Okay, that was going to be one of my questions. What made you want to grow?
Again, it started with just helping the defoliation, getting to know the plant, and I just started to like the feeling, and I wanted to know more. I've always smoked, but I never cared about the plant or how I got it in my joint, you know, like I never really cared about that. But once I started to see the growing process, I wanted to learn more, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I can understand this. So I started playing in the dirt, and I was just hooked.
Nice. I had the same experience too. I did not care. Like, I just wanted to smoke. I didn't care where it came from and shit. But then, but when I saw the process, I was like, yo, that is amazing. It's fascinating the way this plant works. And I think we should all experience this because it's a beautiful plant, man. Absolutely beautiful.
It is. And it brings so much peace.
It does. It brings unity, peace, just tranquility. That's a lot of shit there.
Yes.
Are you able to get good genetics there in Canada?
I guess it depends on what you want to grow. Like, again, I'm still a new grower, so I haven't gotten my hands on a lot of genetics. But like, I've done Cbunny. I've done my first grow. Actually, I had Copycat, which obviously didn't go too well just because I wasn't experienced enough to grow that kind of exotic strain. But I've done Outlaw, Night Owl, Cbunny, Atlas Seeds. That's pretty much all the ones that I've tried up to date.
Okay, Night Owl. What's the cross on that one?
So actually, I'm doing Night Owl right now. Would you like to see the garden?
Sure.
Just give me a second here.
For everybody else, send this out to all your friends. Share everybody. Let everybody know that we're over here. You know, we're showing our plants and everything.
Yes, please do. Yeah, so I grew in a 4x4 AC infinity tent.
All right.
I have the AC controller. It's dirty. Let's see what's going on in here.
And you got it on Celsius, as I can see.
Yes. So this is one of the Night Owls. This one is my, just want to make sure, Midnight Madness from Night Owls.
I love the structure on that.
Yes, it's also my second time doing auto.
Okay.
So this is new for me.
Okay.
And then this one here is also, what was hang on here. The Invader Zam, I believe. Yes, this one was the Invader Zams by Night Owl as well.
Okay.
And then this
What are the
tall one
turfs on
here.
there? What do they smell like?
Hang on, let's take a sniff. Gassy. It's like almost
Ooh,
like a
nice.
cushy, fruity, very, very sticky. And then we have the strawberry milk and cookie.
Are those all autoflowers?
Yes, they are, and those are all night owl up to now.
Okay. Okay. Beautiful.
And
Beautiful.
then we have the Seedsman Alaskan Diesel.
Nice. So what week are those? Would you say those are in?
Oh, geez.
Or like,
I'd say probably 3-4 weeks, maybe, in flower.
yeah, for autoflowers, right? Because autoflowers flower a lot faster than photo periods.
Yes, it's definitely been quite the experience with going from photos to autos.
Okay.
And then I have the AC Infinity rotating fans, and then the 6-inch line, whatever.
Carbon filter.
With the with the carbon filter. I need to clean my filter really bad. But yeah, so that's. And then
Don't even trip. My filter looks like that too. Don't even trip. All our filters look like that shit. Like
getting close to the end of the grow there, and I am in a basement too.
yeah, and for those who don't know, it's a little hard to get in there into the back of there and get that filter and swap it out. It's
oh
not
my
easy.
Goodness, yes, no, especially when you're short.
Yes, and you need help.
Yes, and then I also have the AC Infinity S44 light.
Oh, nice. So you're completely AC Infinity'd out, huh?
So actually, hang on. I actually won everything I just shown on the Pro Mix giveaway. I think it was last year.
Really?
So it was a big giveaway that AC Infinity had partnered up with Pro Mix, and I actually won.
Wow.
So it was all one in the giveaway.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it was really nice. I did have the Northern Scrogger tent before that. And it has the white mylar inside of it, and I really liked it. But I accidentally locked my cat in there once, and he scratched all the doors, so I had light leaks and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, cats like to sneak in the tent. I've noticed that.
Yes. So yeah.
So that winning all that setup really boosted your wanting to grow, I imagine, right?
Yes, for sure. And it was shortly after the cat had done that, so it was like perfect timing.
Perfect timing. And you're completely set up. For most people, they don't even have the AC Infinity fans. I have a fan and a controller, but I don't have another tent, which I have a Vivo Sun tent, and the Vivo Sun compared to AC Infinity, there's just a big difference, man. There's a big difference in quality, and the AC Infinity is just a better tent. So if you guys are out there, highly recommend that tent.
Yes, for sure. I've been loving it.
So what kind of soil are you using?
So I use Pro Mix HP. I've always used Pro Mix. I've always used Pro Mix.
Is it already pH?
No, I always have to pH.
Okay, all right. So you got a pH and everything. What are you feeding?
Yeah. So I actually feed Green Planet. My first grow, I used Advanced Nutrients. I gave it the full recommended strength, which I didn't know you shouldn't.
Oh, yeah.
So I did pretty much burn a couple of my first babies. Then I went to Green Planet. I used that for a while, and then I did try organic for one run. Everybody was like, try organic, you're going to love it. It's less work, it's this and that. So I was like, okay. So I did try organic once, and I went back to Green Planet.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that like I use synthetics and organics, so I noticed that the synthetics are just easier, and
Yeah,
that's one thing that's that makes it to where it's being able to compete with organic because it's easier.
yeah,
We not to say that we don't want to be in our garden doing all the work. It's just shit, man. It's fucking easier. And I was gonna tell. Oh yeah, for everybody out there, I wanted to tell the new people that if you are using bottled nutrients, to watch out for how it says. Never use the full strength. Always like
yeah.
dilute it. Go. I'd say 1/3 of the strength. Is that what you would think, Cbunny?
Yeah, about that, yes. Yes. And
Yeah,
it
about that. So
depends if
dilute.
you're doing photos or autos too. If you're doing autos, you're going to want to cut back even more.
Yes, autos are not as strong as photos, I'd say. I,
They're more finicky for
that
sure.
could be a debate too, because some people could like just grow monster autoflowers. Some people know how
Oh,
to
for
do that.
sure. For
Yeah, and I'm
sure.
just not there yet, so I'm not qualified to give that information
Me
yet.
neither.
But I will be. We both will be one of these days. We'll get there, right? Are you feeling like you're gonna do more autoflowers?
My first auto run, I loved it. This run, I'm having a little bit more trouble. Again, when I first started, it was outdoors. So I'm used to like huge trees, and then going into indoors, my photos, they weren't huge, but they were big enough.
Yeah.
And then with autos, they're shorter. But I'm starting to realize that it's not the size, it's how you train them, how you top them, how much buds you have on the actual plant. So
Yeah, that's yeah, that's one thing that everybody's got to learn too is the different sizes that these plants grow on different stages. Like as for outside photo
yeah,
period and auto, because you could take a outside photo period that will grow massive, and then you can have
yes.
a real skinny small photo period. I mean, auto flower in your can. It's a crazy plant. We should all learn how to do it. Um, what I got a question here for you. What are some stoner stories from back in the day before you started growing weed when you were just like getting weed back in the day like I had we went and got a quarter pound of red bud and we spent all night cleaning the seeds and just rolled joints
Um,
all night.
I don't really have any, to be
Oh
honest.
no.
We would just chill, smoke weed, watch movies, shoot the shit. It
Yeah.
was pretty. Never really did anything like crazy or stoner moment. I did pull a whitey once. That was pretty fun.
What's that?
So it's where I smoked so much where I started to feel like my face went white. I
Oh,
started to feel like dizzy. I threw up.
yeah, the panic attack and all that, right?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, I've
That's
had
when
that
I was
too.
like first starting to smoke.
Yeah. Well, good thing it didn't deter you. You kept
Oh
with it.
God, no.
Because some people
No.
they have that panic attack and they really just they get turned off. Some people don't want
Yes.
to do it.
Yep. I started later too. I was in my 20s when I started smoking. Like I did try it when I was a teen, but I was never really interested in that. I was one of those that was it was so brainwashed in my head that it was such a bad thing to do,
Um,
you know? So I did stay away from that whole scene, and then when I was in my 20s and I started, it was still very hush hush, I didn't want people to know, and now it's like, meh, whatever.
yeah, because now it's not. There's the stigma has gone away. Most of the
Yes.
stigma.
Well, that's it. I find there's still a lot of stigma being a parent. So I am a single parent growing with two kids in the house, and I find there's still a lot of stigma around the parenting aspect of it. But I'm hoping one day we could
Yeah,
definitely be free to
yeah, no,
be
that's
like for
bullshit because I
example,
think it's stupid.
exactly.
I think it's stupid because you could brew alcohol in your house and have your kids
That's
there
what I was
and
gonna say. 100%.
yeah,
So a teacher, for example, could say, I can't wait to be done school and go have a glass of wine. Totally normal. But if she would say, I can't wait to go home and smoke a joint, she would probably lose her job,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh, it's
And
ridiculous.
it's legal. It's 100% legal where I am as well, and it still has that stigma. But hopefully one day it will completely be gone.
Yeah, so how long have you guys been federally legal?
Oh, God. I think it's been a couple years now.
A
I
couple,
think it
just like 2
was,
years?
yeah, something like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
well
We'll
then,
say
yeah,
about
that's why.
it's still newish. It's not new, but it's still newish.
Yeah, it's going to take at least 10 years before all that starts to just die out.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah, in
hopefully not
2018.
that long. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
2018. Okay. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, I can't wait for the day that the state does that, man, because we're already moving. The people over here, we're already doing it. Like, it's happening without you, with or without you, motherfuckers. If you want to join in or not.
Exactly. And there's like my family do know that I smoke, but I still keep it hush hush still, you know, because I don't want the schools to know. I don't want the teachers to have a reason, you know, to be like, well, she's a bad parent or whatever the situation may be, you know.
Yeah, and those are the people that need to smoke the most.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
They got the stress of the world on their hands, and then they can't deal with it, so they're they lash out and they get jealous and stuff like that, because
Yeah.
alcohol is not really a suppressant. It's not a it doesn't help you. At the end of the fucking day, if you smoke a joint and go to bed, you'll feel better in the morning. If you fucking drink a bunch
Yes.
of alcohol and go to bed, you're not gonna feel better in the morning.
Yeah. And again, going back to the parent, I smoke a joint, my kid falls down the stairs, break a leg, I could still drive him to the hospital. However, if I've sat here, had 3-4 beers, he falls down the stairs, break his legs, I can't drive him.
No, yeah, man, yeah, it's crazy, the stigma. Hopefully, one of these days we get over it, because you know what? And you
Yeah.
said you're a single parent, so you have enough
Yes.
stresses on your hands already. Shit.
Yes. And I have, so my son, he's also 12, and he's nonverbal and autistic. So CBD was something I had actually looked into for like autism and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And it's pretty interesting.
Okay. Hey, all right. Let's get into that subject now. I think that it is a God sent miracle, like medicine, that helps some kids, man. It really does help.
Yes.
Just CBD. I'm not saying
Seizures.
THC.
No, exactly, just CBD.
Just the CBD really does calm some kids down that need it. Yeah, I know it helps me. Shit, and I'm mad ADD, but I'm not
Yes.
autistic, and I know it would help. Like, I have a nephew that's autistic, and I feel like it would help, but we don't know yet the implications, and there's still the stigma and the whoopity whoop.
Exactly. And it's still like you could ask your doctor and they will tell you like it's even if they agree that CBD is good, it's still not technically legal yet to give that
Yeah,
to children, depending where you're from, of course. So
yeah,
there's
yeah. So have
again
you ever
that
seen?
stigma.
We were talking in one episode. We were talking about the Charlotte's Web, the strange Charlotte's Web. Have you heard of that story?
Okay.
Um,
No, I don't think I have actually.
so it was a little girl who had seizures. She would get seizures
Oh
about
yes,
20 times a
yes,
minute,
yes,
and the CBD plant, they grew and they bred out specifically for her to try to, get her the medicine, and get this
yes,
medicine out to kids who really need this shit, man. And
yes.
it's well, how bad that they have to go through all this pain, but because of a stigma, and we have the medicine that would help them because it cut her seizures down from like 20 to 2. Um,
Yes,
there's this medication out there, and there's this stigma that is holding us back, and it's ridiculous, man.
100%.
Ridiculous.
And most of it is just money. It's just greed, which is the sad part.
Very, very sad. I hate that it's that way.
Yeah,
I hope one day that your son can get some help if he benefits from it.
yeah. Well, my other son is ADHD, ODD, and I think definitely he would definitely benefit from it. He's been on so many different like medications, and I've seen him go from himself to having a medication where he wants to kill himself, and he's only 10 years old. You know what I mean? Like, and these are the medication that they're giving to your child for ADHD or ODD or whatever it is. I would much prefer to give him CBD than any chemical any day.
Yeah. If a side effect is suicidal thoughts, that's not a fucking good medication, guys.
No, and like this is given to kids, like it's ridiculous.
Like it's okay, and this is why my mother-in-law,
Yeah,
God rest her soul, called our medicine God's medicine. She always called it God's medicine, and I really feel that it is. My kid also, she's been dealing with it. She's a little bit older, almost an adult now, and I had to start giving her edibles. I had to, because she felt like she wanted to kill herself and hurt herself, and this medication was not helping.
no, not at all.
Gave her an edible, and she felt better for a little bit. A little bit of relief is all that I want to try to give my kid. You know?
Yeah, I would never push it on my kid, but I honestly can't wait till he's at the age where he could decide and he wants to smoke, and then see, the difference.
Yeah, and there's a lot of different ways of ingesting too. You don't have to smoke. You could,
Yeah, exactly. Or edibles for sure. Yep. And
yes.
like you said, it doesn't have to be THC either. It could just be CBD.
Yeah, it's a CBD and just get it ingested. That's all they need. They don't need to get high. We're not saying get high. We're saying use medicine.
Exactly.
That's all we're saying.
Exactly. Yes, just so we're clear.
Just so we're clear out there. Make sure everybody knows.
Yes.
God, there was something else I was going to say about that medicine and I forgot. Well, we'll just move on to the next thing. How did you hook up with the HGT? How did all you guys hook up, Mama Kush and Ganix, and you guys? I'm pretty sure I've asked you this question, but to the new people, they probably don't know. Oh, actually, matter of fact, hold on one second. I remember what I was going to say. For the new people out there, if you have never eaten edibles, be careful because edibles go times 5 in your system. So if you think you're gonna eat a little bit, and you're not very experienced in edibles, make sure to take it lightly, okay? Because there's a big chance that you could get the panics, like Cbunny was talking about. So be careful.
Don't be pulling whiteys.
Yeah, don't be pulling whiteys, man. We don't want that. We don't want to turn the colors. But yeah, back to the question. How did you guys hook up?
So I was actually asked to be. I was watching the show a couple years back. I was actually asked to be brought on as during a show they had called Women of Weed. But at the time, I wasn't comfortable with being on camera. I still wasn't comfortable showing my face. So I said no, but I started to watch them more and more and more, and I got to started talking with Mr. Ganix, and we talked for a year about growing, and he helped me a lot along the way. And one day, him and Mama asked if I would like to be a part of HGTC. They liked what I was doing. And I said, sure, but I would rather be in the background. Like, I'll be in the background, and you guys do you know. And you could see how well that went. And they're like, yeah, sure, not a problem. And now I'm in front with them. And
yep, now you got to be out there. We're not going to leave you back behind. That's what they said.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Good. And it's a good thing that they did that because now you're out and you're, you're getting better, not as shy on camera, I would say.
Yes, more comfortable talking for sure. And again, it brings back to the whole stigma. There's still that stigma, especially when you grew up with it, that it's bad, you know?
Yeah, and that's what I say that we're here to change that. Okay.
Yeah.
The only way that we're going to change that is by coming out here and not saying that it's, and everybody knowing that it's not bad. Because most of the people out there already know that cannabis is not bad. They just don't want to deal with, all the shit that comes with the black market and shit like that.
Yeah. 100%. I remember when we used to pay like $220 for an ounce back in the day. Like, it's crazy to think and now we grow in our own house.
Yeah, shit. I remember back in the day, we'd get weed from BC actually, British Columbia back in, and we thought, I'm
The
pretty
BC
sure,
weed.
yeah, BC weed. And then I got some stuff from Bellingham one time, and it just blew my mind. It was like the first time the chronic came around, and I was like, "Yo, this is the new thing." But
See, it's funny.
ever run? Did you ever run into some bud called like over here we called it Pertendica because it kind of
Pretend.
looked like chronic, but it had seeds like red bud, but big red
Hmm.
healthy seeds. Did you guys ever come across that?
Yeah. I don't think so, but to be honest, like up until 2 years ago, until I actually started growing myself, when I would like buy my weed or whatever, it never had strain names. It was just like, here's a quarter, of weed. That was
No.
it. So I mean, I may, there's lots of strains I may have tried, but I have no idea because they never said like, oh, here's some blue dreams, here's some green crack, or here's some, white widow. It was just like,
Yeah,
here's $50 worth, and you had
yeah,
stems, you did have seeds,
yeah. That's what I was trying to think of right now. I was like, shit, man, could you imagine what kind of strains were going around back then? But we just didn't know. We didn't know
No,
what strains they were called. We didn't know if it came from a Thai stick down the line. I forget, an Acapulco Gold or some shit.
yes,
Like
exactly.
that. All it was weed. You liked it or not, shit.
Exactly. You want it or not,
You want it?
that's how it was.
That's what the fuck you're doing. That's what you're gonna get.
Yes.
So let's talk about pests. I know I've been dealing with pests, and I know you've been dealing with some too, right?
So going back to my first organic grow, up until my first organic grow, I'd never ran across pests. My first organic grow, I was using Gaia Green. I used Vermibec worm casting. I was using diatomaceous earth, and
Okay.
I ended up getting gnats. So at first I didn't know what they were. I honestly thought they were fruit flies at first, to be honest. And I'm like, where are fruit flies coming from? Like, it's in the basement. Why would there's no old food or anything down here that would cause fruit flies? Because I didn't know
Yeah.
about pests, really.
Yeah.
So by the time that I figured out what it was I was infested. Like, you would open my tent and it would be like a cloud.
Oh.
Sticky traps weren't enough. The
Oh no.
diatomaceous earth was not enough. So I tried apple cider vinegar traps, where you put a bit of apple cider vinegar, some water, a little bit of sugar, and you put like saran or something like that, and they go in it and they would die. But again, it was too much and it wasn't working. So I actually had to remove an inch of my soil and re-put new soil, and that seems
Yeah.
to have gotten rid of them, thankfully, and get things back under control. But it was bad, yeah.
Really? So take off an inch of the soil, huh? I never thought of that.
Yeah. And so I had looked online and I tried everything they were saying, and nothing was working. So that was, after that step, the next step was, they say, to put like a sandbox sand on top to remove the like an inch at the top, and then put like sandbox sand. So that was my next step to see if the removing the soil didn't work, but thankfully it
Yeah.
did.
Okay, so
Yes,
remove
and
soil.
I also used mosquito bits, and that also wasn't working. That's
Yeah,
how
so
bad
it
it was.
must have been a bad infest, and it's
Yes,
crazy.
yes.
Like I've said before, we make this environment for them perfect, and it's they've been here before we were. It's what they do, so we can't get mad at them. Of course, they're gonna go looking for
No.
the right
Yeah,
fucking place, and we just gotta be on.
especially organic, because your soil is more living than if you're using synthetic.
Yeah, and what I was thinking was they're called fungus gnats, so they probably eat on the mycelium network.
Yes.
So That, and if you have healthy plants, you got a healthy mycelium network, so there's more food for
Yes,
them to eat.
yes,
It's for their
yes.
larvae to eat and all that. So yeah, you know.
Yeah, and I was reading like having a few isn't bad, but I was reading that if it does get pretty, like if it does get bad, they will like eat at your roots and it can cause damage to your plants.
Yeah, just like anything, if there's a bunch of them, they could tear up your plant. I recently
Yeah,
just
for
got
sure.
spider mites. Have you dealt with spider mites before?
Oh, no, I've never dealt with spider mites. So, where I was growing previously, like where I first learned about cannabis plant, he had actually got some in his tent once.
Okay.
And yeah, I'll never forget the first time I see that. I couldn't see what he was talking about, and then he sprayed the bud with water, and I could just see this whole web around the plant, and I was like, "Oh
No.
my
Yeah,
God!" Like, yeah,
that's what happened to me. I went into my tent and I opened it up and I saw the bud, and I was like, "What the fuck is that on my weed?" And I looked real closely, and it's perfectly wrapped around the bud. Like, oh, and
yeah,
there's a bunch of them too, and the little fuckers are on there. But like I said, I try not to get mad at them because they're just doing what they do. But
yeah. But you can't help it. They're
yeah,
trying to do what you do.
fucking facts, right? Shit, man, that's what I'm trying to do. But I had to throw it away. A lot of my people were like, "Why didn't you just keep it? I would have smoked it. We've smoked worse back in the
No,
past." And I'm like, "No, I'm
yeah,
not doing that. I'm not gonna give you fucking
that's back in
weed
the
that's
past.
yeah, that's in the past. We're not in the future. We're not in the past
We're
no more.
not
We don't
there.
do that."
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, I know he had tried all kinds of spray, and they seemed to go away for a bit, but then they would come back. And then he actually took his tent down for like 6 months, bleach, everything, put the tent back up. Everything was fine until flower. And every time he hit flower, that's when it would just be infested. So I don't know. We think so this is where I'm iffy about taking people's clones, because we think it's because he was bringing clones in, and those clones were already had the mites on them.
Tainted.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, I'm gonna have to keep an eye out for that. I still have, like, I just cleaned out my tent and I just put the new plants in there that I got growing from just buying seed. I just put them in the tent, so hopefully I don't get fungus, more fucking spider mites.
Yes, yes.
Uh,
They are little buggers.
I
I know, like, it is
hope you.
possible to get rid of them, but they're creepy. Did you ever see one up close, like
I mean,
under a
it's just a
microscope?
spider, right? It's just a little fucking spider. Oh God, yeah, yeah.
Or like
They're.
aphids and yeah.
Actually, you know what? I don't think I've ever looked at one real close. Or do you mean like under the microscope?
Yeah, like even a picture under a microscope,
No.
sit under, yeah.
All I know is
They're
like
just all
seeing
creepy
them fucking.
looking.
Yeah, I bet they are little shits. So what would be your ideal strain to grow? So I know you're just in like you're new into growing indoors and all that, but
Yeah.
like, have you noticed the structure of plants that you like to see? Like, do you like it more taller, more bushy, like real thick
Yeah,
stem?
more definitely towards the taller, again, going back to outdoor growing, because that's just what's in my head, that you want it to be tall. But
Yeah.
I've been liking bushier too, so it all depends. Oh boy, I'm still there. What was the question again?
Oh, what structure? What's your ideal strain?
Oh yeah. I definitely like something like, if we're looking at turf-wise, something gassy and fruity.
Okay.
Definitely like cushy, gassy, fruity would be my ideal strain. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you would really like a Runts thing. I had a Runts and it was delicious and it was very cushy and it got me mad stoned and there was some purple hues in it and it was gorgeous. So if you ever come across
Yes,
that one, you should try it.
for sure. I grew the Alien Cookie by Milo Genetics. She had a beautiful color on there. Very, very purple. Amazing smoke. Again, like a gassy, cushy smoke. Like, it was so good.
Nice. Have you ever gotten bud rot before?
Outdoors. So we do get bud rot a lot outdoors because of our weather. So we start later in the year where we'll start to before we could plant outside, and then usually by like September we'll start getting some frost, some snow,
Yeah.
and that's when you'll get your bud rot. We'll get the rain. We could. So with where I am, the problem is it's not the growing outside, it's that the season is never long enough. So we could get them to grow, but they don't grow as big as they can, because we have to cut them down before the bud rot comes, before, all that fun stuff, the mold and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and because your guys' summers are real short, right?
Yes, they are. They're very short.
And that's because you guys are closer to the North Pole, so on the way that the Earth goes. Yeah. I, I 'cause I imagine that you guys would be able to grow massive plants out there because you guys' conditions are so good during summer.
We've definitely grown some. So actually last year we grew one. I'd say she was probably close to like 8, 9 feet.
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
because
grow that big.
yeah, I'm trying to remember which strain it was too. I have them all written down. That's the thing. Like, I've only grown for 2 years, but I've grown so many strains. I never do one grow with the same strain. I usually have
Okay.
like 4 or 5 different strains inside my tent because I want to try it all.
Yeah, I've been like that too, and then I started like noticing that some strains grow different than other strains, and I wanted to keep like just
Yes.
like an evenness, and something that I knew, so I just kept doing one strain. And so recently I just did the triple crown for like a fucking year, and I'm not gonna do that again because that was too much. Like it's overkill on the plant, dude. I get a little, I don't know. I like variety, like you do, right? And that's
Yes,
why you got so many of those plants
exactly.
going, right? And
Exactly,
so
100%.
I can't just stick to one plant. And I know my patients and all the people who like my weed, they did not like getting the same shit all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Out of the 2 years I've grown, I've been lucky. Even though I've been doing different strains, all the feedings have been the same. They've been all on the same feeding schedule. One might be like a day ahead or a day behind, but nothing major except for this auto run. I do have
Yeah,
one that is like completely different from the others, but I can't just feed her differently. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have the time to be doing 4 different feedings for 4 different plants or 5 different plants, whatever.
yeah. So you're just gonna you give a
Just
uniform feeding, right? So
yeah,
everybody's just getting
yeah.
the shit. Here you go. Who makes it? Whoever
Yep.
makes it, right?
Yeah. If you don't make it, that's on you.
That's your bad,
Yep.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh shit. So okay, when you're growing those big ass plants, do you deal with what I deal with is floppage, where I call where the bud's so big it just starts flopping over and you gotta tie it up and shit like that, right?
Yes. So for outdoors, we definitely use the big bamboo sticks. That helps.
Okay, okay. Do you build like I was trying to figure out how to do it. Do you put like 4 uh bamboo sticks and then put something to wrap around it, right?
Again, it depends on your plant. Like, if it's a bigger plant that's like completely falling over, then yeah, definitely wrap it around. But if she just needs a little bit of extra support, just put like 4, one on each end, like around the stem, and it should be good.
Yeah, Mama Kush was laughing about the floppage term,
I see
but that's a
that.
term that I've coined. Yeah, I've coined that term. I want everybody to use it now. Is when your buds get too big and they
Floppy.
start flopping over. It's just some floppage, man. That's some
Yeah.
floppage. Everybody's got to do with it. I know I do. So do you do the technique that I do, to where you strip off most of the stem, like so to where it's just the cola on the top, right? So I'll strip off all the little popcorn buds on the bottom, and that's
Yeah.
probably
So
why I get a
lollipop.
lot of floppage. Yeah,
Yeah.
lollipop the shit out of everything, right?
Yeah. So I do indoors because it's so much easier. Outdoors, again, they're so much bigger, and usually will grow more when we do outdoors. So outdoors, I don't do it too much. I try to, but again, like defoliation outdoors is so much different than defoliation indoor or lollipopping indoors.
Yeah, yeah. It's way different.
But yeah, yeah.
How long do you cure for? Or do
Um,
you cure?
I do cure. I try to cure without, getting into the bag before it's ready. Ideally, I'd like to cure for like 3 to 4 months.
So what? Damn, that's a good cure. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say
Ideally,
weeks.
no. Ideally, that's what I aim for. But I mean, half the time, I need to get it in that bag before, the 2 months is done.
Yeah, that's my problem too. I cannot, my bud just flies off the shelves, so
Yeah.
I can't go 3 weeks. Like 3 weeks is the most anybody will ever let me cure because they're always bugging me or I need weed or,
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
happens to where I gotta burst into it. But
Yeah.
ideally, if I could, I would totally go 3 months.
Oh, yeah.
That cure must be so good. Like, is it real smooth?
Oh, yes, for sure. And again, it depends. Like, I, of course, always test. You always test, one. And if sometimes within like 2 weeks, it's so good that next thing you know, it's like, oops, I smoked all that strain. And I didn't wait that, 3, 4 weeks even, and it's gone.
Yeah, that's one thing that I noticed too is when you're doing a bunch of strands or just strains, you only get maybe 3 ounces per plant, right? And so you only got those 3 ounces, maybe 2 ounces of that strain, and then it's done. If you didn't clone it,
Yes.
you're done with that strain, dude, and you're shit out of
Yes.
luck. So I have.
So that's something I'd like to do is clone. I haven't
Oh,
done that yet.
okay. I was just about to ask, have you cloned? And you haven't, huh?
No, no. So I did experiment. So I did like just cut, a branch off, and I threw it in a bottle of just normal tap water, and I just let her be, and she actually grew roots. But I never planted it into the soil, and so I've never done it. It was
Oh,
just
well,
to
our work.
see. It was more like an experience to see how to do it. Like, okay, so you cut off the branch, you strip the edge of like the end, and you stick it in water or whatever, but make sure it's pH.
Yeah, make sure
And
the
rooted.
clones like their pH low, actually.
Yes.
I think it's at a 5.0 that they like it. And using some root hormone really works. You could just use the powder stuff, or like you could use some Clonex, which is another stuff. Clonex gel is a little bit better because it stays on to the stem better, right? Or
Yes.
if you're using the powder, what you want to do is you just dip it a couple times, right? And then dip it into your cube, whatever medium that you're using, and then dip it back into the powder one more time, and then go in there, and that will work pretty good. That's a
I
tip.
heard that aloe vera is good too for
Yes,
cloning. I've heard.
yes. Actually,
I
that's
haven't
really does
tried
work.
it, but I've heard about
Yeah, I've
it.
heard that you could just straight up cut an aloe vera leaf and stick a plant in it, and boom, it'll root.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's amazing. I really like that. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Sorry I missed what your name was back there, but they just said that they watched my episode of The Garden Talk with Mr. Grow It. I just gotta say thank you very much, guys.
Yes, that is so awesome. We got to hang out with Mr. Grow. Isn't he such an amazing person? I just got to say
He's
that. He
such.
is so amazing.
I love Chris, man. He is such a cool dude.
Yes.
Like, and this one thing that I want everybody to know is we don't know how far the ripples of our life will touch, how many people we could touch, man. And he has touched
Yes.
a lot of people and is inspiring all of us here. And
And he's so knowledgeable and so patient on teaching us new growers the lingo and, teaching us to grow. Like, I love his book. If you don't have his book, you definitely need it. It's for like all experienced growers,
yeah,
whether you're new, whether you're, you've been growing for 50 years, you learn a lot in his books, and they're very easy to understand for new beginners.
Yes, I was actually reading his book, and I learned some stuff that I didn't know in the organic, which I didn't know, period, which was the MPK ratio. There's the numbers on all the feeds and everything that you guys got. There's like a 10, a 0, and a
Yes.
5. Well, that stands for the nitrogen, the phosphorus, and the potassium. And that is the letters of the on the periodic table, I think. I'm pretty sure. So that's what the MPK stands for.
Yes.
And you want your ratios. There's a lot of people, and I didn't know that until I was reading that book. So thanks, Mr. Grow It.
Yes, such great information for sure. Even myself, like only this year really have I been, last year, like I was growing amazing plants and stuff, but I didn't really understand what I was doing.
Yeah.
It was more like fake it till you make it kind of thing. And this year I'm learning more about it, which is great. Like I'm learning, it always said NPKs on my bottles, but I never, like you, I never really knew what that meant. It was just like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I find this year I want to learn more. I want to know what these NPK is, what, things like CBG is, what things like, I didn't even know what a trichome meant until last year. Now I'm always checking my trichomes.
And now you're almost like an expert, right? Which is really cool that the information is out there for you guys, for your new growers and everybody.
Yes.
Like, this is what we need to do. No more what's it called where you hold all the information? I think it's gatekeep.
Gatehold? Yeah, something like that.
So there's no gatekeeping in this community, man. We're getting this information out, and we're letting everybody know how to grow, because we all need to know this stuff. Because this isn't just for cannabis plants either, guys. It could turn into other plants too if you want to grow all this other shit. There's a bunch of other stuff that you can grow with this information. So make sure to soak it on. Have you ever smoked any THCA before?
THCA? I don't think so. That's a good question.
So it is okay. Somebody in the chat, you're gonna have to break it down what THCA is, because I barely even mess with it. But it's more refined THC. It kind of looks a little like cocaine. I have to tell you the truth.
Oh boy.
And you put it on your weed and you smoke it, and it's a little weird. I was like, yo, like, I don't know, but it got me pretty stoned, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, what's up? You gotta check that one out. That one's pretty interesting. Look it up. Talk to the community. I want you guys to know how much THCA. Diamonds, yes. So it's
Yes. Okay. Yes. So
it kind of looks like
the rosin and dabbing and all that.
Yeah, it's more refined. Yeah, refined THC. Yeah. As soon as you burn it, that's when it decarbs and then it gets you real stoned. It's like 90% THC too. So it was pretty good shit. I gotta admit, that's pretty good shit.
I have a hard time with like rosin and all that, just because I have a hard time with bongs or dab rigs, or I just don't have the lung. But I could sit here and smoke 10 joints, no problem. But when it comes to like bongs and dabbing, and I die. I choke, I start drooling, I might throw up, who knows?
That's how you know it's good shit.
Yeah, I guess,
yeah, so I myself just smoke joints most of the time. I don't even really smoke bongs. Defiant C sent me over a bong, and his bong is the only one that I use. So when it's, I feel real good, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to get all fucked up. I'll take a rip off the fucking Defiant Seed bong and just bum myself to sleep, But have you ever taken like a 3-footer bong hit or anything like that before?
I've tried like the very big bongs.
Yeah.
I've tried little bongs. I've tried some that are like this big, and I don't.
It's just not your thing.
There's just something about the taste, and I like my papers.
Yeah.
I'm old school like that.
Yeah, me too. I think that's what it is. I think we like the feeling of smoking the paper. The paper just adds something to it. I don't know what it is. It just seems like it's better, because I just smoke joints. I
think it's that calming of sitting there and like a cigarette, you have that. it takes me 10 minutes to smoke a joint instead of 2 seconds to hit a bong.
Yeah,
So it gives me
yeah,
that 10
yeah.
minutes of relaxing, we'll say.
Nice. All right. Well, we're at the 55-minute mark, so we're gonna wrap this
Oh,
one up.
alrighty. That went really quickly. Thank you so much for having me on.
You're welcome. I really appreciate you giving your time, and I really thank you for, being part of the community and coming out here and talking with me and actually being on here and showing how you grow because we need to show all different aspects of the growing community. We need to show how other people do it, and get
For
other people out
sure.
of their shell too.
Yes, for sure.
Not that it's wrong to be in your shell. It's totally understandable,
No,
if the people out
exactly.
there are going to be hating on you, we don't want that. We don't
Yeah,
want you to get in
no,
trouble and
no,
all that shit as
no, no.
well.
But it is
But
good to definitely raise awareness and try and break the stigma, and that starts from, quiet people talking about it.
yeah, and when you get the quiet people to talk, that's good when you find the people that have the most passion are the quiet ones.
Well,
Hi
thank you
again. What's
so
up?
much.
Thank you so much for tapping in. I don't know if it's Neil
Yes,
or Kevin. Thank you guys for tapping in. You're almost at
yes,
the end of the
thank
show.
you.
This is Cbunny. As you guys were on their show before, right?
Yes, we had Hi again. It was so much
Oh,
fun.
you
They
guys
are
have.
both of them are amazing. We had amazing. Yes, this year we've definitely hit the year running with very amazing growers. Everybody from Hi Again to Mr. Grow It
Growing.
to Rob from CLTV Pigeons. We've had Chad Westport. So we are over on YouTube. It's Home Grow the Community. Every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, we have our interviews where we'll bring on growers again, like Hi Again, and interview them. On Fridays, it's more like an open mic night where everybody
Okay.
could come. They could show their gardens. We admire the community's gardens and basically like spotlighting our the community's grower, because we want to get everybody's name out there. We want to again raise awareness, not just awareness for us but for the whole community. So definitely come show your gardens if you'd like.
Nice. So yeah, guys, make sure to go check out their YouTube page. I will we'll be making posts and I'm gonna be making more posts and link to your guys' YouTube page. That way everybody can go check you guys out. But yeah, you've been killing it, C Bunny. Good job today. You really
Thank
killed that
you.
shit and I love to see your progression. Hope that you end up, taking it to where you want to take it.
Thank you so much. And again, thank you for having me on.
You're welcome. Is there any sponsors or anybody that you wanted to shout out?
Actually, just Green Planet and everybody at the HGTC crew. So Mama Kush,
HGTC crew,
420,
yeah.
yes, Papa Kush, Mr. Ganix, and just the whole community. Shout out to the whole community, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Thank you for tapping in. I am going to be loading most of these episodes onto YouTube. That way that everybody could find these better. And I'll be trying to tag you guys and everything like that. So, everybody can go back and watch the show because I just realized it's hard for everybody to go through my page and find these episodes. So, I'll be doing that. So, everybody out there, if you've been on an episode of CannaConvos, be ready to be on YouTube. And yeah, everybody have a great day. Thanks again, Cbunny.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Bye.